After having known what information literacy is, in this video we are going to learn about the information sources. Just like I promised in the previous video that the very first video will be about information sources. Now we are going to discover what are the various sources of information. When you have received the information, you have to know from which source is it. Is the source a trusted source, or it is just propaganda, or you're not sure, it is just rumors moving? So for when you learn about the information sources, we shall be able to know which type of information we are receiving and its level of accuracy. For example, you have received the information from internet. This is a PC. From internet, from which internet source are you using? Is it from a newspaper, on the air, over a television, a book, or from the news? Is it a journal, or is it a conference? Is it an interview with someone? We are going to know about the different sources of information as we are going to classify them. By definition, information sources refer to any materials, records, or documents that provide data on a particular subject. Meaning these information sources will just give you material, like will give you, they are the materials you are going to use to get or come up with information. They are a foundation for research, inquiry, decision making. When you use these sources like Google here, you are doing some research or you are proving something. Meaning Google is also an information source which can provide relevant information in whatever area or whatever subject you are looking for. Then you have the various types of information sources. Information sources can be primary sources or secondary sources. For primary sources, for example, journals, newspapers, original manuscripts, speeches, letters, videos, audio files, pictures, and images. Or can be an interview, can be a video, can be a book, can, like, from whatever source you are using. But for primary sources, they give first-hand piece of evidence created by someone at the time of event or someone who experienced the event. For primary source, meaning you have been there at the site or at the event, like you have witnessed what the real incident that happened. That's being a primary source. For example, those people appear in court to give evidence, meaning they were there at the scene and they know all what happened. That's a primary source. So in most cases, primary source, it is just raw data. It is not yet processed, but it is raw data. We are not yet sure of it is from someone directly. It is unmediated. Then we also have secondary sources like journal articles, books, newspapers. Like you have secondary sources, get information from a primary source. For example, when you're being interviewed on a television, that is a primary source of information. But from the television, someone will go and write it in the article, meaning you are the primary source and someone wrote it and converted it as secondary. That person will be a secondary source of information. Characteristics of primary sources of information: there is originality, meaning information is original. In most cases, we trust that information. It is the high levels of being very true. Then data is raw, meaning it is not yet meaningful. That has just been, they have just come up with data, they have not yet processed it into meaningful information. It is time related. Then unmediated evidence, meaning you are getting it directly from the person who was at the scene. Examples of primary source, they are here. They can be books, they can be articles, interviews. Primary source, it is one like from the real source, real person who experienced the incident. That's a primary source. There are various purposes of primary source. For example, primary sources give raw evidence concerning specific instances. They are a source of research. Like when you get information from a primary source, meaning you can start up with research. They are insight into context and direct connection. When you get that information from a primary source, so you can connect ideas to come up with the real information. So that's what we have to know about primary sources. of information. For primary sources of information, information is got directly from the source, from someone who experienced the incident. In most cases, primary source of information is trusted, since you are getting the real first-hand information from the real source. So I encourage all of us to follow where we are getting information from, to prove if the information you're getting, is it from a primary source or secondary source. In most cases, secondary sources of information tend to change the real primary source of information which was communicated, which may lead to mistakes or misunderstanding of information, which may not be good at the end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share. All your comments are welcome in the comment section, so that we know what to improve in these videos, what you want me to cover and what you are expecting in the upcoming videos. In my next video, it will be about the secondary sources, since this was about primary sources. Thank you for watching.